we have taken the art form across the globe and the global platforms. What do you see as the key challenges in presenting and promoting these art forms on a global stage? And how can we address those challenges so that the younger generation is attracted towards?
Well, some thoughts. Thank you. I would so much appreciate Rosalind creating this panel, because the transmission of tradition and how to keep it going is an evergreen subject. It's something that we discuss again and again because it's always relevant. Shobana and Geeta have raised really significant points. And one thought that I had listening to them is that for artists, students who do not come from a family tradition of the arts, why do they want to learn it? And when Geeta mentioned that they're doing it as a hobby, they're coming to classes, in my experience, that's absolutely backwards. The first thing that all of you as parents and grandparents should be doing is taking your children and grandchildren to see every classical dance and music performance that you can. Every week, Delhi is the only capital in the world where the best artists internationally and across the country are free. You can go, it's not good for us as artists, it's not paid, but as connoisseurs, it is the best. Now, why do I dance? Why do I love it? Because growing up, I saw things from all over the world and I was inspired. Those people who do not come from a tradition need to see inspirational performing arts so that they can then say, I've been changed, I want to participate in this and maybe do it for others. And then that means that they need to see every style, not just, you don't make a dedication of 10 or 12 years without even knowing whether or not it suits you. This is absolutely unfair just because there's a neighbor teaching the class that you go there, unless you absolutely are adamant that your child must only dress up in a costume, be on stage briefly, and then immediately stop with their studies. But if you want them to have an opportunity to be one of those people with a passion for the art, you need to let them see, even when they choose the style, I would always say, go and watch a few classes by different gurus, and then see where is the right mix. When I was 6 and wanting to do ballet for years, I went to the ballet teacher who scared me to death because he had a staff and he pounded it. That was because of his war injury, he pounded it. A year after that, I started with modern dance, but after a year, I went to him. As far as presenting the arts all over the world, I don't see any problem and I don't see any issue. There are issues, obviously, in terms of finances and sponsorship, but in terms of audiences, I think all of us have experienced that around the world, people are more sophisticated than you realize. People are dance audiences, they've seen the best of every place in the world. We get standing ovations everywhere we go. They love the pure dance, but they love the abhinaya even more. You just have to give those little hooks, connect the dots so they know where they're going and they can follow it. So I don't see any difference there or here. I don't think there's a problem with audiences. I think the problem is the awareness. You see, many of you grew up with Doordarshan. You all knew the difference between Bihu and Kathakali. How many generations since your childhood? The youngsters don't know it, they haven't been exposed. It's not their fault. It's your fault for not making it possible, you know. I mean, you know, I think of my daughter as she grew up and being able to go to a theater museum, identify everything that's there, seeing a Manipuri, Antigone, and questioning for 2 weeks about Antigone's choice, going to see Marcel Marceau and sitting in the aisle, saying that, you know, Mom, the Bolshoi is different from the Kirov, and knowing everything about every classical style by the time she was 8 or 9. And I don't understand why everyone doesn't get that exposure when it's so easily available.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an important lesson age where we are just consuming reels and our attention span is less than 5 minutes. I think it is important to become an audience to classical arts and understand the intricacies, and then only we can learn it.